A billionaire just sat through a 4-hour deposition about Jeffrey Epstein, and by the end of it, his own attorney leaned in and said this. Watch.
Answer another question. 5 words, okay? Answer the question. Okay.
So this is Les Wexner, the billionaire behind Victoria's Secret, and he wasn't just another name in Epstein's world. No, he was Epstein's single biggest financial backer. He gave Epstein full power of attorney over his entire empire and hundreds of millions of dollars. That means that Epstein could sign checks, move money, buy and sell property, all in Wexner's name. And, well, Wexner did everything he could to downplay his relationship with that guy. Welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. And today we're breaking down the most explosive deposition footage I've seen in years. Now, before we get into the clips, pay attention to Wexner's baseline posture. He's leaning forward the whole time, arms crossed on the table. I'd say that after 4 hours, that is just comfort. But let's say that his reaction to the first question about his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein told a lot. Watch.
It's been reported repeatedly that you were close friends with Mr. Epstein. Why do you think people would come to that conclusion?
Objection, hearsay.
Speculation, because he would tell him that.
Did you catch those 7 seconds? That silence of 7 seconds. The attorney objects hearsay and then silence. Wexner doesn't answer. He sits there and his eyes drift to his right. Now, in body language analysis, when someone looks to their right, they're not remembering. They are constructing. They are measuring their words, choosing what to say. And you can see his lips moving slightly during those 7 seconds. He's rehearsing his answer before he gives it. And what does he finally say? Speculation. He shrugs it off as if people are just guessing. But here's what makes that shrug so revealing. There's a letter from January 2003 from Wexner to Epstein. It reads, "Dear Jeffrey, I wanted to get you what you want, so here it is." And attached, Picasso drawing of, female breasts. It is signed, "Happy birthday, your friend, Leslie." That is not a speculation. That is a man writing "your friend" to someone he now claims was never his friend. That 7-second pause makes a lot more sense when you know that what he was trying not to say. But he makes sure to downplay that friendship even more with the next clip.
I was conned by the world Olympic all-time con artist. And you look at, I read in the news all the people he knew, royalty, kings, princes, and all that. An incredible con artist.
The world Olympic all-time con artist. Notice after he says that, he nods, presses his lips together, and blinks rapidly. Those 3 signals in quick succession are classic anxiety markers. He wants desperately to be believed. And then he tries to dilute his relationship. Oh, royalty, kings, princes, and all that. He's saying, I wasn't the only one. Even royalty got fooled. He's talking about Prince Andrew, of course, but notice the single shoulder shrug and the lip corners pulling down when he says, and all that. That gesture says that this is no big deal. Everyone got conned, which is exactly what you say when you're trying to hide how big a deal it actually was. But here's where Wexner starts dropping names that made this deposition explode across the internet, and his body language completely changes. Watch.
And then he had done personal work for the Rothschild family in France.
Personal wealth management, essentially?
I don't know.
Okay. We've seen some reports that he would present himself as a bounty hunter, that he would find people's missing money. Do you recall him saying anything like that?
No.
Notice that for the first time, Wexner uses illustrator gestures. His left hand comes up to emphasize what he's saying. Up to this point, his hands have been locked on the table. But when he mentions the Rothschild family, his body opens up. He's telling a story now, not defending himself. And then comes the question about whether Epstein presented himself as a bounty hunter who would find people's missing money. Wexner answers no immediately. No pause, no eye drift. That is clean. But watch what happens 3 seconds later. His eyes open wide, his eyebrows shoot up, his lip corners pulled to the sides, and he looks down. It's a fear microexpression, like a man who just realized he said something he shouldn't have. That reaction came from nowhere. There was no follow-up question, but something internal triggered it. Imagine what happens when he starts mentioning Google founders and Jeff Bezos.
Okay, I'll give you an example.
It's just a
No, because I want you to understand this, because it's so confusing to me. He would say, like, I'm providing financial advice to the founders of Google. I'm providing financial advice to Jeff Bezos. I'm providing financial advice for the chief technologist at Google. And wow, I'm in good company, because these are really smart guys with a lot of money.
Now watch his hands. For the first time in this deposition, Wexner gestures broadly, arms wide open. He quotes Epstein saying he advised the founders of Google, Jeff Bezos, the chief technologist at Google. His gestures expand dramatically. He's performing amazement. Wow! I'm in good company because he's a really smart guy with a lot of money. But this is the same delusion tactic from the past clip, but bigger. He's not just saying he was con. He's building an entire cast of characters who were supposedly con alongside him. But think about that. This is a billionaire, one of the most successful retailers in American history. These are not people who hand over hundreds of millions of dollars because someone told them a nice story. That is not how billionaires operate. That's when his attorney snapped. Watch.
Answer the question. It's okay. Answer the question. Okay.
Remember the clip from the beginning? I will effing kill you if you answer another question with more than 5 words. That wasn't a joke. That was a lawyer who watched his client spend 4 hours telling elaborate stories when he was supposed to give short answers. And Wexner, he laughed it off. But the fact that his attorney felt the need to threaten him on a hot mic tells you everything. Wexner wasn't being careful enough, and once you learn to read the signals, the constructed pauses, the dilution tactics, the sudden shift from guarded to expansive, you can spot them anywhere, not just in depositions, in job interviews, in negotiations, in anyone who is trying very hard to control what you believe. The question is, what is Wexner still not telling us? So what was the body language signal that stood out to you the most? Was it the 7-second pause? Was it the ghost face after the bounty hunter question? Or was the broad gestures when he started naming names? Let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love and bliss.